Hey, Mystic Michaela, spiritual family. Welcome to Know Your Aura with Mystic Michaela, talking about some mystical ways to protect your energy. Today, we've talked about practical ways to do it, boundaries and this and that, but what about some like psychic-y stuff that I use that I want to share with you? But first, hey, Scott.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
So, as we continue our quarantine life together,
yes,
something flippin' nuts happened this week, and nobody really cared. Like, nobody cared. And basically, the Pentagon released videos of unidentified flying objects. And I think we're also like, what?
What? I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, I think we're also just pandemic'd out. Like, our brains are numb to it. What do you think about that, Scott? You're red aura. You're logical. What do you think about it? Think
about the release of the UFO thing?
Yeah.
Well, this is the first I'm hearing of it.
Okay, so
I would think it would have been more in the news, right? But
yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it's not. Like, they keep just talking about, like, the coronavirus, which is, important. But, like, come on.
Well, I mean, I don't hear, like, when I watch the news, that's all I ever hear. I don't hear anything. Like, so there could be, like, there's a whole other world going on, probably.
Yeah.
And I don't hear anything about it. So
what it was is the Navy released, this UFO videos, and there were 3 videos, and they were taken like in 2004 and I think in 2015, and U.S. Navy aircraft took it, and the Pentagon just called it unidentified aerial phenomena, meaning like they don't know what it is. And if you watch the videos, the pilots can be heard like being like, what is going on? Like saying, how do they do this? How do they do that? Like, and that sells it for me. Like, the pilots are like, what is this? And they said that there's nothing that they know of that could do that.
Well, this is good in a way, because I am a little psychic myself.
Okay.
And, I don't know what episode number it was now, but I've been talking about this, the MIR, like, that you got to protect yourself against these aliens.
We've been trying to prepare you guys for this for a while.
Yeah. You guys thought, a few weeks back, I don't know, it was a few weeks, but like maybe a month or two back, when I meant MIR,
right,
mental, intuition,
right,
and resources.
And,
I talked about it, and, I got a lot of slack for that. People are like, what is he talking about? You're going to take your dog and take its urine and throw it on an alien?
Okay, you have to backtrack. Because not everybody heard our Starseeds episode. So what is MIR? Because you researched ways to fend off an alien. And that's where you came up with MIR. Okay. So explain that to people.
Okay, so MIR, for those of you that are new to the podcast, I do recommend going back and listening to that podcast.
It's the Starseeds episode.
Yes. Okay. M, mental, mindfulness. Like, you have to be, like, mentally prepared. Like, you can't let them mentally into your brain. Block them, right.
Okay.
I, for intuition, and that, like, use your intuitive powers.
Okay, like how?
Well, like, maybe you could, like, throw a salt lamp at them or something.
Okay.
Or maybe read their tarot cards.
Okay.
Or possibly, like, if they have palms.
Like their aura colors?
Yeah, read their, like, for you, it'd be their aura colors.
You're green, yeah.
You're green, yeah.
Literally.
And the last one is, what was it? Time-tested resources.
Resources.
Which I messed up, yeah.
Which you have to clarify are liquids.
They're liquids. Urine is a big one.
Apparently, they come light years, billions of years here, but if you throw urine at them, they'll go away.
It doesn't even have to be human. It could be like dog, as I have discovered.
Can it be like just cleaning supplies?
You could.
Yeah.
You could do that. Like, if you have any, like, I just bought, like, some bee killer for like a hive. Like, I think you could, like, spray that on them.
Right.
Like, anything that'll, like, get on them. Yeah. They don't like that.
Right.
You asked me how I know this.
Yes.
I don't know.
Well, you did major research for our Starseeds episode about how to fend off.
I mean, I could be totally wrong.
The aliens. But anyway.
I think it'll work.
So, like, my question is because, like, growing up, my mom's a psychic. I say this all the time. She always said, I hear them listening to us. I hear them watching us. And she was dead serious, Yeah. Like, she would say and she's not that crazy. You know what I mean? Just like, she can function in normal society. So it's not like she's just a ranter. Like, she would say, like, they're paying attention, and she would tell me, like, they're just it's a matter of time before they step in. Which that's not what you tell your kid, because I can't even watch alien movies now.
That's true.
It freaks me out.
But if you're saying one of the videos was from 2004.
Yeah.
And now it's 2020.
Right.
So that's 16 years.
But one was from 2015.
Okay.
And the program was canceled in 2017. So
Right.
It was an underfunded, they just appropriated the funds.
What were the aliens doing from 2004 to 2020?
That's all they caught. It doesn't mean that they weren't, like, the same things weren't happening. Those just happened to be on film.
But, like, what are they waiting for then?
Now, so here are some theories.
Okay.
So, like, Ancient Aliens is a big show, and a lot of people watch it. And, like, it's funny, because if you watch it, and, like, you go research some of this stuff, it's easily debunked. Like sometimes they'll put on things that they say are fact that have already been, intelligently debunked, okay? But it does make you think. And, like, every culture has some sort of lore about extraterrestrial, beings enhancing their society or giving them some sort of information that made them more, sophisticated. And there are theories that, like, we as humans are actually, like, mutated DNA from aliens. Like, they're kind of, like, harvesting us or something, or, like, creating us. I mean, I'm not saying this is what I believe or this is real.
Right.
I mean, these are theories.
I mean, I don't think I'd taste very good. And that might go back to why I don't use that much soap, so they wouldn't eat me.
You're very undesirable, possibly.
Right, exactly. So I try to keep myself a little undesirable. I don't shave that often.
Right.
So that,
a little hairy.
Yeah, like, it's going to hurt going down.
Yeah, they're smoother people.
Yeah, so this is actually good for me.
Some people say that they're waiting for us to be on the brink of climate issue where they come in and save us, or they come in and implement their form of organization to fix it.
I mean, look, they really are taking their sweet time here, though.
They are. We're getting towards brinking time.
Yeah, I mean, come on already. What are you waiting for?
Some people say that they took out dinosaurs so that humans could live here, and that's how the dinosaurs were. I mean, these are, like, actual working theories, like, people do cling to.
Yeah.
And I don't make fun of them because, like, I really do feel like there are extraterrestrials. But you know what? I read this one, and this was interesting. Some people are saying, like, these aircrafts are humans from the future that time warped.
What?
Funny. Yeah, and we're actually seeing future humans.
Okay.
Yeah,
now
and messing with the time warp situation.
You're blowing my mind.
I know.
I mean,
that stuff stresses you out.
I mean, there's so many holes. There's so many possibilities.
Yeah.
I mean, where's like how like everyone sees it like for 10 seconds and then it leaves?
Yes.
Like, where does it go?
It could. Well, you watch Star Wars. Like, what's that button?
Like hyperspeed.
Yeah. Hyperspeed.
Okay.
See how you understand it now?
Yeah. All right. I could be convinced. I mean,
it's hyperspeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they like, and the videos, like, the Navy pilots are like, there's no way, like, anything could move like that, or against certain wind forces, or it's definitely
something.
Not any. And they said, like, straight up, like, we don't know what it is. So,
Yeah. I mean, all right.
It's crazy, but what I find most fascinating is I like that they released it now. Like, they've been around, these videos and stuff. It's not like this is the first time we're hearing about it, but, like, I think the Pentagon kind of, like, I don't know, when they do something, we're all like, oh, okay. And it's kind of like, so this is real, and nobody cares because we're all stuck inside. It just is a crazy sign of the times, if you ask me.
Well, I definitely think it's a possibility that there are aliens living among us. Like, like Men in Black.
Well, that's like starseeds, like when I talk about them.
Yeah.
But they're like humans who different people see them different ways. The way I see starseeds is I see everything with auras. So, like, I see people with certain auras, and I can tell if this is, like, their first or so incarnation as human. And in their past incarnations, they were other life forms.
That's a starseed.
That's a starseed.
Okay.
So, and we've talked about that.
Like Keanu Reeves is a starseed.
Yeah, like
we know that,
when I see Keanu, and I'll see other people too, and some are good and some aren't that great. Like I talked, I was on Nancy Anderson. We did an IG Live and we talked about reptilians, which is like a whole other species of starseed situation, but they're not good. And my own experience with one.
Am I a reptilian?
No.
Am I a starseed?
No, Scott.
I'm not a starseed?
Dude, you're human through and through.
Is this my first time on the planet?
Well, I just see it in aura color. Like, maybe like 10,000 lifetimes ago, you were something else. I mean, energy doesn't go away. This is what, you guys have to understand, like, if you could see his face right now, he gets very stressed out. And, like, then he gets all mortality, and he doesn't understand it. And we need to put on a baseball game for him or something just to calm him down.
So what you're saying is every time that I've been reincarnated,
Yeah.
I've been reincarnated on Earth and not like
I
some
feel
galaxy
like
far away?
in your very most incarnations. Yeah.
Okay, so I've never left the
But I
planet.
think all our energy precedes Earth being. All our energy precedes Earth.
Right.
Like energy, energy precedes this Earth. So what were you before there was such a thing as human? You know,
Okay.
think about that.
How many times have I been reincarnated and lived in India?
I don't know. I don't do past life stuff. You know that.
Fine. China? I mean, the odds are I'm going to go there.
Yeah, that's your next lifetime.
Yeah, I'll probably be Chinese.
You're going to be Chinese
again.
Scott.
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Indian Scott.
Indian Scott. Yeah.
Or maybe something else, like maybe Norwegian Scott.
The odds of that would be so slim.
Norwegian
Because there's
Scott?
like 8 billion people. And
You know, it would be really hard to be like New Zealand Scott. Like,
yeah, because there's only
nobody
a
lives
very
there.
small population. Yeah. I'd like to be New Zealand
You can
Scott,
be New
though.
Zealand Scott. You can be a Kiwi.
All right. Well, when I knew we were going to talk about some UFO stuff,
Yeah.
I came up with an idea.
Right.
You know, because like a lot, like we said, a lot of people, like a Keanu Reeves type, but there could be some people that really are aliens. And we wanted to find out. I wanted to find out. I made a list. I wanted to find out if these people are just like crazy, off the wall,
Right.
or are they off this
Off
planet?
this planet.
So the
Okay.
game is: are they off the wall,
Off the wall.
just like nuts,
Right.
like Jim Carrey used to be kind of kooky, or are they off this planet?
Off this planet. Okay.
Okay. So here's my list. The first one I came up with was RuPaul.
Okay. RuPaul, purple and blue, off the wall.
He's off the wall.
But honestly, I'm going to say about RuPaul, he feels actually quite down to earth, and like he kind of knows what he's doing, and
So it's an act.
he's more like eccentric, but not so much. He's a good businessman. I mean, look what
Right.
he's done with himself.
Yeah. Do you think like on like Sunday morning he just has a coffee?
Yeah,
Sits there.
I bet you he dresses so flippin' normal.
Like he's so
Like-
straight as an arrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. I think he's just wearing like sweatpants,
Yeah.
like the
just-
rest of us.
Right. Listening to like Beethoven or something.
Yeah, like super not fabulous, just regular.
All right. So he's just like he's not even off the wall. He's just off the wall for the character that he is.
Yeah, his character. Yeah, that's a character.
All right. So here's one that I clearly think has got to be off this planet.
Okay.
Ramona from New York Housewives.
Oh my gosh.
She's off the planet.
Turtle time. You don't watch the show.
I don't watch
You don't
the
know
show.
what that means.
She just seems like she's off the planet.
She's off the wall.
Off the wall.
She's so
All right.
off the wall.
Yeah.
She's a character.
She's a character.
Yeah.
All right. This one definitely is off this planet.
Okay.
Dennis Rodman, the ex-basketball player for the Detroit Pistons.
Okay. Dennis Rodman is just really purple.
Okay.
He is.
Like, wasn't he best friends with Kim Jong-un?
Yeah, he's had a lot of situations throughout his life. And you know what? There's some show I want to watch. Oh my God, what's it called? I forget. It's going to drive me insane. But we have to watch it. And I forgot it was going to be the next thing I forced you to watch. But it depicts him back in the day, like when it was like, and all the other main players around that time. And I just want to see how he was in his element. You know what I mean? But he's just super purple, and he doesn't care.
So
And
he's not an alien.
No.
Looks like an alien.
Yeah, sure. He acts like what you'd think a stereotype. See, that's funny. Like the aliens, like the starseeds, they're actually quite sophisticated people and that don't act off the wall.
Okay. All right, next one.
Okay.
I have Kristen Dopey.
Kristen Dowdy?
Yeah.
From Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah, Kristen Dowdy?
Dowdy?
Doty?
Dowdy?
Doty?
I
don't know.
I forget, sorry.
Whatever.
She's just really purple.
But she's off the wall.
She's a little off the wall.
Yeah, I was thinking like for her, like I was like, on the fence. I'm like, is she an alien or off the wall?
I think she'd agree with she's a little off the wall. You can be off the wall in a good way,
Yeah.
We talk about the show once in a while because every once in a while we'll like tune in, and I always just feel bad for her. Like she's always just going through something.
Yeah, I mean, I watched that one episode. She really looked.
She's crying the whole time.
Yeah, she was crying.
It's very
like,
sad.
going crazy. All right, what about Pete Davidson?
Yeah, I
Saturday
worry
Night Live.
about that kid. Another
He's an
purple.
alien.
It seems like there's a trend here. Like you think purple people, well, Ramon is yellow, but you think purple people are off the wall or off the planet.
Off the planet.
Yeah, but
he seems off the planet.
He's just really purple. He's very
Really purple.
self-destructive.
Man,
I actually think he has a mental illness, like that he talks about.
I'm 0 for 5 here.
Yeah, you're just going after the people who are a little crazy.
This one definitely. This guy is totally out of his mind.
Okay.
Kanye West.
Oh, well, I think they have a kid named East.
They probably do. Northeast. No, it's Northwest.
I think North.
By Northwest.
No, they have a kid named North.
Northwest?
Well, his last name's West.
Oh, yeah. So who does that?
And I forget the other kids' names,
Okay.
but like
he is clearly not.
You would go
on his
nuts. You would red rant if you heard all their names.
Yes, I would.
He's green and purple, and he might think he's like from another planet. I think
Right.
he would love to like perpetuate that, but he's just kind of full of
All right.
himself.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Give me I realize we named 6 people, and I think all 6 people you said are off the wall. They're
Right.
not off this planet.
Yeah.
But if there is like a 1% chance,
Right.
And of those 6, I don't mean to put you on the spot here, but I'm going to.
Okay.
If you had to pick one of those 6 who you could say, you know what, maybe they really are an alien, which one are you going with? Of the 6,
It's I guess Kanye.
Kanye. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Or
Rodman. Or Pete Davidson.
No.
Ramona. No.
No.
All right. So what are we talking about today?
So if you've been following me and listening to these podcasts, you know already that I talk a lot about protecting your energy from low vibrations, especially as an empath. And remember, in aura color, empaths are your purples, blues, indigos, and turquoises. And the thing is we just have less boundaries than other auras. And it's just our journey in this life to know that and make arrangements so that we're not getting drained. And yeah, I've done so many episodes about this, because I really do, this is my passion for you, to empower you. For example, like episode 21 was my most recent empath boundaries. Episode 4 was the recovering empath. Episode 6, I talked about empaths and narcissists. And then like episode 14, I did a empath holiday pep talk. So yeah, this is my thing, and I talk about it a lot. So, because many of us are basically programmed to believe that being protected from others who have ulterior motives is selfish. So like when you say no to somebody, or you put up a boundary, like you're the mean one or whatever, you're not lovable or whatever your programming says. That's basically what all those episodes talk about. But anyhow, this particular episode goes a little bit deeper into what to do when these low vibes are feeling like really messy on you. So like, what do I mean by that? Well, everyone has the ability to absorb low vibe energy. It's kind of like getting really immersed in the 3D or the third dimension. I talked about that in episode 28, which just means the issues of the material world. So things like drama, cyclical issues, which never have solutions, patterns that never quite get figured out or solved, getting stuck or stagnant, how other people's problems play out on your life. Listen, I see people all the time energetically wearing the problems of others. And some of it is just part of your life. Like you can't really get rid of it. Like I'll see a person, their sibling's an addict, like that's something that they have to deal with. They can't just, it's going to affect them. Or someone's married and their spouse has some things to figure out and they're in a weird spot and you live with them, it's like you're absorbing it and you're stuck there. Or that you have a coworker that has it out for you and you don't really have specific evidence, but you just like feel it really strongly. That's when people get like messy on you. And what do you do when it's kind of just part of your life and you can't control it? And that's huge. So here's the thing. I deal in energy all day long. Like I swim in people's lives. So, I dive in, I get in there, I immerse. I get the good stuff, I get the tough stuff, I get the stuff that's not so awesome, and I feel it all. So in my own readings, I, have to protect myself from holding on to any residue of that, which I absorb. And I have many self-care practices that can work for anyone because I've tried them all. And it's a journey, and I'm not like perfect at it, but I do have ways to do it that you need to know for your own life, for the stuff you can't control. Also, just like anyone else, I too have people in my life that I feel have weird issues with me, which have like nothing to do with me. And like, I'll feel it. And the old me I would own it. Like, I would try to be super nice to them, or I'd try to prove them wrong, or I'd go opposite. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go totally MIA on them. I'll be invisible when I am around them so they don't notice me. But I don't really do that anymore because I can't hide for others comfort factors, and neither can you. Here's the thing. Dimming your light for others is not an option, but there's a price for that. There's a price for that. There's a price for dimming your light too. And there's a price for not dimming your light. But I'll tell you what's better. It's better to pay the price when you don't dim your light, because that's where growth happens. And I can help you with that with some tools for dealing with the negative attention you can attract when you choose not to lower your vibe to match other people's. Because here's the thing. When you have a higher vibration, two things are going to happen. Either people are going to be completely attracted to you, which will happen, and they'll be your people, or you're going to get a different type of attraction. You're going to get the low vibe people who want to pull you down because all of a sudden you feel uncomfortable to them. A lot of my clients go through this. They go through some sort of spiritual journey, and all of a sudden friends that they've had forever start saying things to them, try to take them down. What are you wearing? Who are you talking to? Really? You're going to do that? That doesn't even sound like you. You're going to hear stuff like that from them. And what they're really trying to do is make you more comfortable for them vibrationally, energetic wise. Okay. So that happens all the time. And you have to kind of see it and understand what it is and make a choice. Do I dim my light? Do I lower my vibe? Or do I choose not to? Okay. But if you choose not to, you're going to need some skills. So again, empaths, these are your purples, your blues, your indigos, and your turquoises. They will often turn down their magic. They'll turn down their light. They'll turn off their sparkle in order to avoid the thoughts, feelings, and judgments of the people in their circles. But when you start doing that, when you start not doing that, yeah, you're going to get attacked. And it's not always to your face. Like that happens, but then it's not, they're talking about you, and you're still going to feel it. It's going to feel like anxiety. It's going to feel like discomfort. It's going to feel like a general feeling of unease. You can get like obsessive about it. You can start feeling like paranoid. Like, are they talking about me? You have to am I paranoid? Am I a paranoid person? You got to like level with yourself a little bit. Like, is this who I am? Am I this person? Because if you're not, okay, like naturally, then you're really picking up on them. So it's important to like talk to yourself a little bit. So anyways, so you're going to feel all that stuff. And for example, okay, recently, and this is not a unique incident, but this is the most recent, which is a good example. I had a reading with this woman, and man, she was finally dating this great guy, okay, and they were like really meshing well. It was wonderful. He was divorced, like he was completely divorced from his ex for a while. Like it was overdone. Okay. And the ex was cyber stalking my client. Like, and the ex was like contacting my client's friends, saying all sorts of slandering stuff about the guy, about her, about all this stuff. And then like this crazy ex was using like fake accounts to go after my client, to like, stalk her stuff on social media, stalk her kids, do all, it was crazy. And more than anything, my client, who is a purple and blue aura, she just felt icky about it, and she was getting angry, and she was getting like really lowered vibrationally, and she started absorbing the crazy ex's pettiness. And then she started getting her friends to go, private investigator on the ex-wife, and she got herself a fake account to counter spy, and she started getting in her head about the whole situation, like, what happened? Like, whatever she was saying about her ex and the relationship they had together, it was getting in her head, and it was affecting the really good relationship she had finally found with this man. The thing is like, as an empath, you can absorb all sorts of awesome things, but you can absorb bad things too. So empaths can absorb the petty energy of people attacking them. Even if they're attacking you behind your back, even if they're attacking you not to your face, you'll feel it. It's kind of like feeling a storm coming in, like, oh, like an unease in the air, like a crackle in the energy around you, like, you know, something's going on, and you can start getting really stressed out about trying to prove it or invested in, like, what is this? Or like, I want to find, as soon as, like, stop yourself right there. Like, as soon as you feel that need to go down there to, like, investigate it or prove it or whatever, stop yourself and think about ways to, like, actually heighten yourself instead. That's, like, just, that takes practice. But, again, notice who you are versus who they are. Okay, are these my insecurities or are they their insecurities? Why do I feel the need, these are questions you ask yourself, to defend myself against what they think? I love this quote. I don't know who said it, like, but what others think of me is none of my business. Like, I love that. Like, and like, of course, as an empath, you're going to care and you're going to feel it and it's going to be on your mind and it's going to stress you out. I'm not saying it won't, but if you just, you know, that's none of my business, you know, like, I love that. And another mantra that I use in my own life is, like, don't own it. You know, sometimes I'll be around people and I know they need me to be lower vibrationally than I am. So it makes them feel better about themselves or whatever. Not so much recently, but this is, like, more when I was going through times of spiritual journeying and I had, you know, different change-ups with groups of people around me or whatever. And don't own it got me through a lot of hard times because we as empaths have these, like, habit of mind things going on where we just, we don't even think about it. We just start turning down our magic, dimming our light, turning off our sparkle. Like, immediately we start pleasing the unpleasable, you know, gravitating towards the toxic people before the people that accept you. You know, we have these needs to heal others. And why, when we do that, do we hurt ourselves first to make them feel better about them? You know, it's kind of like, there's this book, this is off topic. I'm homeschooling, so this is, like, on my mind. It's called The Rainbow Fish. And, like, I totally don't agree with this book, okay? Like, I don't know if you've ever read The Rainbow Fish, and I have it. And, like, I read it to my daughter, and it's just like, and basically this fish is really sparkly, and everybody else hates the fish for being sparkly. So, like, the wise octopus tells this fish, like, well, give everyone else your sparkly, you know, scales, and then they'll like you. And that's what the fish does, and then the fish doesn't sparkle anymore, but at least he has friends. Maybe there's another interpretation, but I feel like that's really screwed up. Anyways, I digress. Okay, so back to my client. All right, so, you know, she had to understand that, like, she could not control this woman's actions towards her. Like, this lady was going to continue to cyber stalk her and just be generally freaky and stalky and creepy and creep on her and whatever. But she could block her on social media. You know, she could totally disengage energetically from it. She could call off her friends. You know, she could tell her friend, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Like I do not giving that any energy. When you cut the cord, because there is a cord that is energy cord that connects you to other people all the time. When you cut that, I'll tell you, those people who feed off that connection, they feel it. And that is the greatest revenge anyhow. Apathy is your best comeback. Repeat that to yourself. Apathy is my best comeback. Like, seriously, do not care. It takes work. It does. And it's okay. Like, if you care, like, I still care. Like, it's okay. But you might just be feeling their care. Honestly. And like, you think, like, who's, you know, these people, like, it's hard, you know, and it depends on the situation. You know, this is where I get a little mystical, okay? Because sometimes it's a lot, and you do need to protect your space. So let's say you're feeling others on your vibe, the coworker, you know, the relative, the spouse, the person you can't exactly get away from at this time, okay? Like, you're in it. You know, the crazy ex, whoever. Sometimes it's a lot, and you just have to, like, cleanse your immediate space. You have to take inventory of what can I control and deal with just that. And so when you're feeling others on your vibe, you do have to cleanse. So white candles, I mean, like I said, this is where I get a little mystical. Like, white candles are huge for me. I prefer them to be very pure, like if they're handmade and like well done. I'm like into that. Okay. But white is the best color nonetheless. And like really burn them. And like when you're doing it, ask the white light of spirit to come and protect you. I often say nothing but the white light is welcome here. Like I will say that very firmly, before bed, before just my readings, before just when I'm feeling off energetically, it's like right there. And have faith that that which is greater than us will take that, will shoulder that burden for you. Also, it goes without saying, sage, it's helpful. There's no correct way to do it. Everyone's like, how do I do it? Tell me what to say. It's like, just do it. Like, just feel it. Just like be invested in that moment when you're doing it. It smells and everybody in the house is going to complain about it. Do it anyhow. I often see that like, if you do it in places, my own tip, like where you get stuck energetically, it's good. Like the chair you're always looking at your phone in, or, your bedroom or your laptop or like your office, like whatever. And if you can open a window, that's like bonus. That's very helpful. Salt. Many ways salt is helpful. Okay, salt lamps are super good. Himalayan salt lamps. There's like fake ones and then there's like good ones. So you have to kind of do your research a little bit. They supposedly like clean the air and they help people breathe better and whatnot. The theory is they pull in particles in the air and then they release negative ions. So ions, I'm getting all green here, okay? Ions are molecules that have undergone a change in charge. So negative ions gain an electron. So I don't know what that means, but basically it's the same thing that happens like after a storm passes through. And you know how the world feels like fresh, or like how you feel at the beach with all the salt water in the environment. So that's like where a lot of negative ions are. It just kind of feels crisper or like more refreshing. So is there scientific evidence that like any of this does this around a salt lamp? Of course not. No. But they totally make me happy and I love my salt lamp and I recommend it. I'm very attached to my salt lamp. Crystals. Okay. Oh my God. This has to be a whole podcast. The crystal thing. This would be like a top to bottom, like just like 8-hour podcast. And I would need somebody on here who's like a true expert. Like I do like my crystals. Like I'm not crystal crazy. Like some people are very into the crystals and they're interesting, to listen to. I do feel that crystals are tools to help you protect and hold energy and hold intentions. And, it's important to cleanse them every once in a while so you don't regurgitate old patterns or whatever. And I love like programming them with intentions and keeping them as like reminders. And as an empath who, needs protection and boundaries, there are some amazing crystals that allow you to separate from low vibe energy. And I feel like they are really helpful and I use them myself. So there's a lot of options. Okay. But like, the 4, good ones are like rose quartz because it's about self-love and releasing the past and healing old emotional wounds. Amethyst is really good. Controlling anxiety, protecting from others' intentions. Obsidian's real good. It blocks psychic attacks. That's what we're talking about. When you feel someone kind of on your vibe, they're kind of like in your zone. They're on your mind. Obsidian's a good one. That blocks those psychic attacks. It protects your energy and it transmutes like the negative energy into positive. And then sodalite's really good too because it helps your intuition. So you can kind of decipher what you're wearing versus who you are. So it gives you clarity. Like, okay, when we're talking about, is this me or is it them? Am I paranoid or am I absorbing their paranoia? Like, what is this? I'm particularly attached to a stone who my friend Danielle gave me. Sometimes I tag her because she makes me really beautiful bracelets. Gypsy Girl Gems, which I'll tag again at some point on my stories. But she gave me this stone called an Apache tear, and it's a type of obsidian. It's a round stone, has a beautiful, very bittersweet Native American legend attached to it. That's why it's called that. But like it's a round stone, and it's used specifically for psychic protection. And specifically so that you're heightened to notice the situations which are menacing in your life. It's just helpful for me because I'm a healer and it allows me to stay safe. I've talked about this a lot. I am very blessed and fortunate that 99.9% of the people I read are beautiful, wonderful, good souls, like people who are lovely. And I truly 100% owe this to my guides and the spiritual work that I've done and understanding, when to call something a red flag or not to read somebody, listen to my gut, things like that. When I first started, it was harder. I had to go through some really scary stuff, which I'll talk about one day, where I had to deal with people with negative energy and things like that. But anyways, I really love my Apache chair. It helps me a lot. I wear it all the time. So, here's the thing with crystals. I see them as tools. I don't put faith in them. I don't feel like they're my deity, like they're not God. Okay. They're just, for me, they're reminders. And I feel like they assist me in helping me to stay grounded. And they just make me feel good to have them and wear them and remind myself that I need to be energetically protected. And I have to have boundaries in my life as a highly sensitive person. And it's just that extra step. Where it's you can put up boundaries, you can say these things, you can do this, but then if you have some sort of token of it, it kind of helps you feel more energetically protected. And I know objects hold energy. You ask any psychic, a lot of them will get messages from holding objects, metal, jewelry, things like that. It's funny, my husband has a coin from, I'll have him talk about this. My husband has a coin that he got from his grandpa, and he keeps it in his wallet. And it was so crazy. We were doing a Skype interview before this whole pandemic thing. We were being looked at for a show, and they wanted my daughter Brianna to give a reading to my husband Scott on Skype. So Bree just was like, I don't know, let me have the coin. This is just organic for her. And she took the coin. And she described my husband's grandfather to him. And my husband, Scott, started coughing and gagging. It was really a scene. And crying. It was really the scene. And he was like, oh my God, I can't. He was having a lot of, he was channeling his grandpa, which is what was happening. But he didn't know that. And he's read aura, so he was fighting it or whatever. But man, that was a scene. And we would have gotten on that show, too, but they told us that the pandemic shut the whole thing down. But I wish I had that video because it was crazy. It was just crazy. But anyway, she got it all from holding the coin. So objects hold energy, and it's kind of a thing that many psychics will utilize, okay? Obviously, my daughter can do that, and others can, too. So it's not this unheard thing to have a belief that a crystal can hold an intention or have an ability to assist you in something that you already have an intention for. That's the thing. It can't do it for you, but it's a tool to help you along the way. As long as you're aligned to that, like anything in life, nothing's going to happen for you if you're not committed, subconsciously and consciously. Finally, I pray a lot. I really do. I pray a lot. If you've ever had a reading with me, via phone or in person, we pray first. It's my way of making sure the messages are not from me, but they're from that which is greater than us. And the intention for each session is for me to be a vessel for those messages and not have any attachment to them whatsoever. But in daily life, with interactions with these lower vibration people, you need to do the same. You can pray. You can say, before you walk into a situation that you have to go into, that lowers your vibe, that makes you feel uneasy, you can pray, in whatever way makes you feel comfortable. You can ask a higher source, to make sure you're walking in the white light, to make sure that you know who you are versus when you're wearing them, to give you clarity. And sometimes clarity comes with compassion, it's not, sometimes these people who are, attacking you, you can look at them and you can be like, you can see them with, it's God's way. You see them with love. When you look through the lens of love instead of judgment or anger or, anything like that, or fear, when you look at them through love, you can be you can see their wounds and you can see where they're coming from and you can see how they're victimized or they're insecure or whatever their issues are. And with compassion, they lose their power. Honestly, because you just see them and you're like, you know what, you can just give them without saying it. You can just send them love, and also you can see them in that compartmentalized, clear version that God can give you of them through that lens. And then it's kind of looking at a kid who's having a bad day. You take a 4-year-old personally if they're going to have a temper tantrum at you. No, you're not going to do that. Don't take your 47-year-old, coworker personally when she has a temper tantrum towards you. It's the same thing when you look at it through the lens of love, and praying can help you do that. You just do have to protect your energy from the needier people, the vampires, the people that need to feel like victims and are going to use you as their potential perpetrator of that narrative. The leeches, the people that never get better yet always need fixing. They're always very well disguised sometimes. These are the people that need to be blocked because they drain you like a battery. It's not selfish to protect yourself. And routines and rituals like the ones I've described can help you remind yourself that you're safe and that you're in charge of your own energy. And even before I end, I forgot to mention, but this is like essential oils. Like, I don't use a lot of them because I'm very sensitive to it. And I only do like one at a time, but they help me too. Like I'll use like good vibes or de-stress. I have different combinations that I'll use to de-stress myself or to raise my vibe, and sometimes just like the smell of it, just taking a whiff and just being like, okay, centering myself. That can help me too. Just another aromatherapy, hit the senses in order to heighten your sixth sense, which is the one that we're talking about today, your vibration that always needs to be protected. Hey, Scott, welcome back. What were you doing? You were like running around during that.
Well, I got really nervous from our original conversation, so I actually was getting some MIR, and I got that. I got it stored. It's in the pantry.
Right. You collected it.
But, just fill me in. What was going on?
Okay, so I wasn't planning on telling this story when I was doing my thing.
Okay.
But tell us about, I was telling about how Brianna, for that Skype, that sizzle reel, remember we didn't get the project because of the quarantine, but she did the reading for you.
Right. Yeah.
So tell us about that. Tell us about the coin. Tell us about what happened.
Well, okay. That. So they wanted Bree to do a reading, and I said, all right, why don't use me? That's I don't care. And so I have this coin that is my grandfather's coin, on my mother's side, my grandfather Papa Irving, and it's like this most powerful, unbelievable coin. Like it's incredible. He left it to us, and I can't touch the coin. If I touch the coin for like more than a second, I start to like feel really strange, and I start gagging, and I feel like I'm going to throw up, and I have to like release the coin. I mean, I'm hoping now, just not talking about the coin, that this happens to me because it's like it feels very uncomfortable. So I guess it's like some sort of maybe his energy going through me. I don't know.
But you keep it in your wallet.
I do keep it in my wallet.
Yes.
But it's in my wallet, and it's in like a pouch.
He's trying to take it out. Please don't touch it.
No, I'm not going to touch it.
Then you start coughing.
No, I'm not going to touch it. I'll take a picture of it and I can put it on my story.
Yes.
But I don't ever touch it, unless, like Bree wanted to do the reading. So I did touch it for that cause. But I don't take it out. But I keep it in my wallet because my lucky coin. But if I touch it.
And what happened when she read you?
So she was interviewing for a TV show, and so I took out the coin, and the people probably thought I was doing it for to get the TV show for her.
I know,
but no, I was like
he was like
puking
dying,
and gagging.
You were. It was very.
It was horrible.
Yeah,
and it's very powerful. I mean, I'm scared of the coin in some ways, but it's also my lucky coin, so I don't go anywhere without it.
Yeah,
it's like but I just don't touch it anymore. Because like when I used to touch it, any single time I touch it,
what
I
did
start
she
to feel
say
sick.
when she was holding it?
She was getting like images of my grandfather.
I wish I had that video.
They do. The production company does somewhere. I'm sure we'll shoot it again at some point in the future. Maybe, who knows?
Who knows?
I mean, I'm looking at the coin right now, and I'm terrified of it. But it's like,
When you say terrified, like, do you think that's just your ego fearful of?
Well, I don't want to get the feeling. Yeah, the power of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a very powerful
But the power
coin.
itself, do you feel like that's bad or good?
No, he's good. It's good.
It's good,
Yeah,
right.
it's good power, yeah.
I think, like, with
I'm
you...
just scared of getting sick.
Well, you don't like losing control.
Right.
And channeling someone, and maybe this is why you don't see a lot of red aura psychics.
Yeah.
Like, channeling somebody means you have to lose your control.
Yeah.
And you don't like that.
No, they, like, for whatever reason, like, I'm kind of, like, I'm trying to like block it off, but like I'm like this gateway for spirits now.
I know, you really are.
Like going way back to like, I can't remember episode 2 or 3, the guy that died on 9/11.
Yeah.
He was coming through.
I know.
It
was like a whole story.
We did a true crime. You did a true crime podcast.
Oh, I did. Yes.
And you were talking about the people that died.
It hasn't released yet.
Hasn't released yet. They were coming through.
Yeah.
Anytime you get like, like these mediumship stories, they'll come through me. I get all like jittery, and I'm like, I feel like I'm going to throw up every time.
Our mutual friend's dad passed away.
Yes.
Recently, and you just were checking on her, and then your head started hurting. And you were like, you asked her, like, did your dad have a head issue or something? And he did,
I started having like this headache. I was talking to her. She's amazing, and we've known her for a while.
Yeah.
She's from New York, and her dad just recently passed, and like even right now, like my it's kind of weird, feeling a little strange, but and then I asked, like, I knew I don't know, like, how would I know, like, someone who died, their aura colors? I'm like, I know this guy's red and blue. I know this guy's red and blue, and I asked her on text or DM, I said, was your dad, what were your dad's colors? She didn't know it. So I came down, I asked you, and you said, he's red and blue.
Yeah.
And then I told her, and, it made perfect sense to her. She, but yeah, he was coming through.
Yeah, you get like messages like a lot lately, like the dead people will channel through you and stuff. I think because you just work with me and like we're so close. Yeah. And like the thing is like dead people I have to do a mediumship episode because it truly is a remarkable experience, but can very much change you.
No, it's true. And the thing I think what's happening, and again, I'm red, so I know this could sound like a total bunch of BS to people, but it is true, and I do believe it. I think like I'm like kind of like a gate. Like so many people come to you, and like you get like hundreds and hundreds of messages, and I know you want to help everyone, but they don't always get through to you. Yeah. So I think some of these people that have passed use me to get to you, and I'm going to just tell you, there was. I'm not going to say who it was or anything like that. There was someone that very prominent that died in the news recently, within the last few months.
Yes. This is crazy.
Yeah, and I'm not going to tell the story. I can't mention names.
Yeah.
But I had like it was over and it's just weird. They reached out. Someone relative reached out, and then something quirky happened.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm terrible telling stories.
Yeah.
But the person that had passed, one of the people that had passed, just wouldn't like. I knew they wanted me to have you tell this message.
It was the sister of the person who lost somebody reached out to me. Now, this is such a public figure, and I'm so respectful of their privacy that I'm not going to say their name.
Right.
But a sister of somebody extremely prominent reached out to me and said, how can I deal with this? I don't know how to have closure here. I'm very upset about what happened. She wrote that to me, and in my DM box, I get thousands of DMs, okay? And I really do try to get back to most of you. But directly underneath, out of nowhere, another person wrote. So picture my DM box, the sister's name, and then right underneath was the name of the person that she lost who wrote me. Now, this was not the same person. It was just coincidental. It was the name of the person.
Minus one letter. It was off by one letter.
By one letter. It was the name of the person that they had lost. Now, this is all over the news. This is a lot. Okay. And I took a screenshot and I sent it to her and I said, listen.
No, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
You felt you didn't want to.
I didn't want to like look like I was trying to sell her on something.
Right. And you felt, you don't want to sell her. Right. I understand that. But like I just could not let it go.
You made me. Yeah.
And I'm like, you have to send that. Like I'm like, you must send that. And like you're like, no. And
I'm like, I don't want to be pushy. Right. I don't want to look gimmicky. Like, what if she thinks I'm making it up? That's my own insecurity.
Right. Then we watched an episode we didn't send it. We watched an episode of Ozarks.
Yes.
And I like at the end of like, you got to send that. Like you got to send that. Like it was like I wouldn't like I know I get OCD about things.
That's when spirit makes you OCD and will make you give a message.
But I'm like, you know what? What's the worst thing? Like, who cares? Just send off the message and let's be done with it. It doesn't matter. Yeah. As long as we send it off, we know we did what was supposed to be done by this person that passed. I can't believe I'm talking like this. But then you sent it.
I sent it. I sent the screenshot.
And I was like, fine. And I felt like great.
You felt better, because obviously the person that passed, she was trying to get you to give her relative this message.
Right.
And she wrote back to me. She said, thank you so much for this. Like, I've been really angry. I've been really sad. I've been really this and that. And the thing is like, those are kind of walls sometimes for the loved one to get through to you. But anyways, I don't know how we got on that. Oh, you've been channeling dead people.
Yeah, dead people.
Anyways.
Well, the other thing was,
yeah.
So I was also, when I was doing my MIR.
Yeah.
You mentioned something with, Nancy Anderson.
Yeah.
Who you've worked with.
Yes.
Talking about like reptilian.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, what is? And then I was like thinking about like, what is all that?
So there's star seeds, but then there's reptilians, and there's other forms of starseed energy. And in my starseed, I didn't get sometimes I like to just do it from the way I see things, instead of like what other people say or whatever, because there's different like subspecies of what different, I guess, life forms could be. But I did have an experience with a reptilian, and they're not good. And it was interesting because this person's aura this is earlier on in my career, but this person's aura was very shapeshifty. I don't know, like they did not have an aura color. It was like very hazy, and it changed a lot, which was weird. And anyways, long story short, I did a session with them, and it wasn't the flu, because I went to the doctor and I got tested, and it was not the flu, but I was sick for 2 weeks, and it felt like I thought I was going to die. And I know that was from their energy taking from me. Now, this is when I really started being like, okay, I have to start using some more mystical things that I've just talked about to protect myself. But Scott, what do you, by the way, this reptilian person is like a healer. Like they work as a healer on other people.
Oh, God.
And they like work on kids and stuff. You have to be so careful who you go to.
Oh, my God.
And they actually have like a name for themselves, by the way. So it's kind of like really freaky.
The only thing I can think of is like, and you're not going to know the show, and no one in our audience except for me will know the show. There's a show, like a miniseries called V. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. And like underneath everyone, there are reptiles.
No, that's what it's like.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, you know it?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
No, because it was an old show, and then they tried to redo it. My parents were like obsessed with it.
Yeah, they love.
And then it just ended. Oh, my God.
It was a good show, too.
But that's exactly what it was like. And I'll tell you how you know reptilians is that they're very cult-like in a way. So usually they're going to have like a following, and the following is based on they're the god of your information. It's not about, a true spiritual leader just shows, like, tries to get you to see it yourself. You know what I mean? But somebody who's a reptilian type leader, which there's a lot out there and you have to watch out for them. They are the soul. It's like narcissism times a million. Like, they're the only way you can get to spirit is through them or something.
Okay.
It's really creepy.
All right.
But anyway, but Scott, you see my candles, you see my essential oils, you see my crystals, you know the kids are into it too. Well, not Bree. Bree thinks it's kind of weird. Look, I sage you. What do you think about this stuff?
Look, I'll be honest. Okay. I just talked about having dead people come through my body, so I'm really in a bad spot to actually knock all this stuff. But, I really don't go... I don't put too much weight into these kind of things, like with the crystals and the spiritual sauces, whatever you guys make.
Yeah, sauces,
yeah.
Sure.
Like howling at the moon. And I don't know. For me, it doesn't work. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm all for it if you're into it and all other people are into it. That's fantastic. But for me, no.
So what do you do if you feel like someone's like on your vibe? Do you even know what that means?
No, I don't. Yeah, no, because I'm so clueless that they probably are, and I wouldn't even know it.
Like, what do you like? Don't you ever feel like this person hates me? Don't you ever like have that feeling?
Not really. Not really.
Like, if somebody comes up to you and they're like, "I hate you," like, how do you react to these things?
I'd be like, okay, all right. I'm not a fan of you either, but I wasn't going to say anything. But
like, what do you feel about like when like we're in a space and it like I don't know, like I start saging it or whatever? Like,
well, I like to say. I'm okay with the sage just because it's like I feel like, all right, let's just like start anew.
Okay, so I've converted you.
That's not true. Yeah, sometimes what I'll do, honestly, like, my showers without soap. Sometimes I'll take it, like, and I never actually probably told you this.
You have not.
No, I have not. Sometimes I will take like a shower just to like refresh, like to get to like, all right, we did that.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to take the shower, and it's like kind of like a
That's a ritual.
Yeah.
That's a cleansing ritual.
Yeah, like a cleansing ritual. I don't use soap during those.
Okay.
Those are non-soap showers.
You can.
You can.
Yeah.
But it's like that could be like my third shower of the day.
listen, we have a
Yeah.
game. We have to
Okay.
lighten things up.
Let's lighten things up. Okay.
What is our game called today?
All right. So I figured we end, because it was a serious topic, with 5 things that you would break the quarantine for.
Feel free to play at home here. Feel free to play at home.
Yeah. So basically, these are things like you're taking your mask off, you're not practicing the social distancing of 6 feet. You might be like on top of each other.
Like full pre-pandemic conditions.
Pre-pandemic conditions. All
Right.
So here we go. I came up with 5. You came up with
Yeah.
5. I don't know your list. You don't know my list.
Exactly.
My first one is I just need a haircut.
You do.
Yeah. So I'm willing to break the quarantine
Totally break it.
for a haircut. No
Okay.
mask.
You would
6
just
feet.
really?
Well, they
That you-
can't. I can wear the mask, I guess.
Okay.
Well, except for when they do my ear around my ears.
Yeah.
Then I have to take the mask off.
Yeah.
So
So
for
you're gonna break. Okay,
Go on.
I would break quarantine for an all-inclusive vacation to Margaritaville.
Oh, okay.
Leanna, our admin and our assistant, has totally turned me on to that place. It's a happy place.
Okay, and that's funny because that was your number 1.
Yeah.
My number 2 was to go to a Jimmy Buffett concert.
Really? You'd
Yeah.
risk it for that?
I've been listening to Jimmy Buffett every day.
You have.
All his kind of older songs too. Not even not even the Cheeseburger in Paradise and
Yeah,
the Margaritaville. I've been going
great.
down into the barrels of his stuff.
Yeah,
So I'd go to. Yeah, I think I would.
your Jimmy Buffett deep tracks,
Deep track.
really
Yeah,
deep cuts.
some of the Cowboy in the Jungle and all this stuff.
Sometimes he'll just sing a song with a Jamaican accent, and I just feel like that might be racist.
What?
I don't know.
Oh, Jimmy Buffett.
Jimmy
Oh, I
Buffett,
thought you meant me.
No,
I don't do
you.
that.
Jimmy Buffett will sing a song, but then he has a Jamaican accent, and it's
I'm not Shaggy.
it's so. I don't know.
Shaggy.
What is that? Shaggy.
Shaggy.
In 1999, we loved Shaggy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide.
Moving on. No, he's Mr.
305.
Oh my God, we saw this the other day, people. Pitbull's Mr. 305 was just the Miami area code. I can't with that guy.
He's
Okay,
tried. All
what's
right.
the next thing?
You're up.
Oh, I'm up? Okay. Any sort
Oh,
of...
no, I think I'm up. No, you're up. Okay, you're up.
Well, any sort of time with Keanu Reeves.
Okay.
I
all right.
am
All right.
not pre-pandemic conditions for that. He's
Okay,
clean.
So he's clean.
I can tell. Pre-pandemic conditions, Keanu all day. Okay, what's your next one?
All right. My next one is I would be okay now with doing a barn raise with the Amish.
It's a sick fetish I deal
It's
with.
a sick fetish I have.
I deal with a sick fetish.
It's getting stronger.
It's getting stronger in this pandemic.
The more that the Amish contact me, the more I want to go. I feel like they wouldn't have the corona, because they're so isolated.
Yeah.
So they, I'd be okay with not wearing a mask. And yeah,
Do you remember when we went to the Office convention? There was only one.
yes.
And I forget what year
it was in Scranton.
But what year? It was in Scranton, PA.
Oh God, I don't
And it was
remember.
1 year.
Yeah.
And it was and we drank at Poor Richard's.
Yes.
And
I almost got arrested at Port Richards.
you hooked your friend up with a girl.
Yeah.
Because you hated his fiance, so you
Yes.
turned his life around that night.
Yes, I did.
And saved him from this awful marriage.
I sure did.
And it was the most epic time ever. And I would redo that whole experience
Poor Richards.
without.
Okay.
I would break that for Corona. The whole Office convention.
Wow.
I can't. It was the one and only ever. We saw all the characters. It was. It was a panel. People were dressed up like them. It was awesome.
Yes.
I would break it for that.
Okay. All right. I didn't put that on my list. I didn't think about that, but I might.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I would. Maybe I'd switch that out with the Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah, I agree.
Not the barn raising, but the Jimmy Buffett.
No, I didn't think he would.
I would love to sit at the Café du Monde
Oh my God.
in Louisiana
Yes.
and have 10 beignets,
Yes.
5 cups of coffee. Yeah.
I'm stealing that.
You're still that
Yeah,
one? Okay.
that's good. Just nonstop. Just keep bringing them out. Keep bringing them out. The beignets.
Maybe Megan Emmons will invite us back to New Orleans if she goes back there.
She goes back.
We could hang out with her again and
Just
go.
that's what
get
we
some
did last
beignets.
time,
Yeah.
and we're gonna do that again.
Yeah,
And then we got him to go.
She had some in her house.
She did.
She's great hospitality. She'll stay there, everything, and she had beignets,
And she had beignets
from
for
Café
us.
du Monde.
She rocks.
She's awesome. All right. You have any more?
No,
Or that was your last one?
those are my ones.
All right,
know?
and, these are good. And here's my last one. I've really always wanted to do this.
Okay.
I want to go on a double date with a couple.
Okay.
And I was thinking the couple I'd like to go on a double date with, because I think they really get along well, is Kristen Cavallari and Jason Cutler.
Oh, this is...
He's from the Bears. And
it's going to be awkward for you.
Why?
Like, they broke up this week.
No.
Scott, they broke up.
They seem so happy.
No, they broke up.
What?
I did a whole post on my Instagram.
Come on. I look at her Instagram. She looks like him and her are in love. They're the greatest people,
Sometimes yellow, purple,
living the greatest lives.
Look good,
Really?
Yeah, on Instagram. That's like one of their talents.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, super awkward.
So, Jay Cutler,
it's over.
the football player, Kristen Cavallari.
They're done.
From whatever show, The Mountains.
Cavallari. The Hills.
Oh, The Hills. They're done. I guess, all right, I'm going to have to pick another couple.
You're going to have to go more than that.
Definitely not going to be Kanye and, what's her name?
Kim. And their kids, northeast, west, south.
Yeah. Because God knows what we get into there. Probably might want us to make a sex tape with them.
Anyhow,
well, on that note.
Hey, guys, thanks for joining. As always, I appreciate you, and I want to hear your feedback on the Mystic Michaela Spiritual Family Facebook group. Take care.